Good morning, children. This is Shaila ma'am here. So I will be teaching English and EVS for the second standard. Okay, so Rohana ma'am will not be teaching you all English, and since Sheila ma'am have left the school, so I'll be teaching EVS and English for you all. So till what Rohana ma'am had done last time was for you all the unit 4, a real patriot. So I will be going further, giving you all notes on it. So you all understood what a real patriot is, right? So people who think and work for the betterment of the society and work for the development of the nation, right? So as children, what you all have to do? You all also have to contribute towards the development of the nation. How? Simple. You all have to concentrate on your studies, study well, get educated. When you all grow big, you all will know that you have to do something for your country, right? So that's how you will be a good patriot. So for now, you all concentrate on your studies, study well, always speak the truth, be good children, go in the right way. That's enough. So let's go further with our notes. So you all have done your meanings. You all have written the meanings in your classwork. Now what I want you all to do is the question answers. I have written the question answers for you all, the answers for the questions on the board. So please note it down. Okay, so that will be zoomed in for you all. So note down the answers. The first question is, what were the workers doing? The question is in your textbook. I want you all to copy the question from the textbook. So I have written only the answers for you all. Okay, so I have not written the questions for you all. So copy the question from the textbook. I have written the question number and the answer. So the answer for the first question is, the workers were cutting stones at a factory site, and a full stop. Okay, what were the workers doing? The workers were cutting stones at a factory site. The next question, so that answer for that question is also on the first question is on page number 47. 3 men were cutting stones at the factory site. That will be an answer for the first question. So you can write like this: the workers were cutting stones at a factory site. Who spoke to the workers? The answer for this is again on page 47, the second sentence of the lesson. A wise man spoke to the workers. Who spoke to the workers? A wise man spoke to the workers. That's the answer. Now what's the third question? What was the government building? The government was building something, right? The workers were working over there. So what was the government building? The third man says that, right? The third worker. The answer is on page 48. The government was building a factory. So here it says the government is building a factory. So the question you have to answer in the past tense. What was the government building? The government was building a factory. And the answer for the next question is, okay, let me read the next question. Who is the real patriot? Who is the real patriot, children? You have learned the lesson. Ma'am has explained to you all. Who is the real patriot? The one who thinks for the country, right? So first worker, he worked only for the wages, to earn money. The contractor is paying him, so he is working. The second worker, he worked so that he can earn money and support his big family. So he only want to earn his living. And the third worker worked so that the government will build a factory, people will get job, and they will get the children educated, and the educated children will think for the society, and thus the nation will grow, will develop and be better nation, right? So he thinks about the nation, our country. So the third third man is the real patriot. So the third worker is a real patriot is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer for your question answers. Let me go to the next main. Match the following. Match the following by drawing lines. Now I haven't written the full question here. I have only written the question numbers A, B and C. The capital A, capital B and capital C are the questions number. And the small a, small b and c are the answers to that. So you all have to draw the lines like this. So from A, what's the answer for A? So A says he worked for his family. Who worked for his family? The second worker. The second worker is on B. The second worker worked for his family. So A is matched with B. So you all have to draw a line from capital A to small b. He worked for his family, the second worker. Question number B, he worked for the nation. Who worked for the nation? The third worker. So the third worker is C. So B is matched with C. So you draw a line from capital B to C, that's the matching. So capital A to B, capital B to C, the third worker worked for the nation. He worked for wages to earn money. Who did? The first worker. So C is matched with A. Okay, so I have written, you all have to just draw the lines to match the correct answers. Let's go to the third main. Here, join the suitable word balloons. One is done for you all. So what is it done here? Here you have different professionals and you have the name for those professions. Different professionals and you have the name for the professions. For this, you have to learn the different professionals, like we call them as community helpers or our helpers. Okay, who are those? So I have a small chart for you all to explain who are those community helpers. Now this is a doctor. The doctor treats the patients, right? So he helps people by treating patients. Of course, he earns money, but he is doing something to help the people, the nation, the society. Okay? So doctor and nurse helps the doctor in treating the patients, right? The nurse helps the patient in the hospital, helping them to give medicines, injections, taking them to bathroom, giving them bath, and all that the nurses do. So the nurse helps the doctor in treating the patients. Postman, what does a postman do? The postman brings us letters, right? So that's one of the help which he does for us. If it's not for him, we won't get letters. Now of course we have emails and messages, WhatsApp. Before we never had all this. So letters and greeting cards had to be posted and the postman would bring us. Then the army men. Army men are very important for us. They are there to protect our country from the other enemies, right? So army men. A teacher is a very noble profession. The teachers educate the student who will not know to learn, will learn to read and write, right? So the teachers help in building the better society by educating the students. Policeman who protects us from robbers and thieves and other bad people. So this is a policeman. A cobbler. Who's a cobbler? A cobbler who mends our shoes. If your shoe is torn, he mends it and gives to you all, right? And who makes the shoes for you all? If there's no cobblers, you will not get new shoes and slippers to protect your feet. So cobbler is one of the community helper. And the tailor who stitches our clothes. We wear nice clothes, right? So tailor helps in stitching our clothes. He is a carpenter. Carpenter helps us making our furnitures. So if it's not for the carpenter, we will not have chairs and tables to sit and write on. Okay? So that's what the carpenters do. Next is a barber. If it was not for the barbers, all of us would look like a caveman, right? All hairs grown around, especially the boys need to have haircuts and girls have pretty haircuts in the saloon. Though in the beauty parlors and salons, so that's the work of a barber to do the haircut for us. And the electricians. So if the lights go off and the fuse is gone off, we call the electrician to fix it. If it's not for him, we won't have lights, right? So electricians help us. And the gardener. So we have a beautiful garden in our school, and so will you all be having at home and in factories and offices elsewhere. And we have parks. So all these parks are maintained by the gardener who keeps the park beautiful. Okay, so these are some of the community helpers which we should know. Once we know them, then we will be able to match this. So I want you children to go through it and match. Now I'll just give you also just a gist of it. So who is he? He's wearing a white coat with a stethoscope around his neck. Is a doctor. So you just need to, it's already done for you. And this man is a board, and the lady standing here is a teacher. So teacher, you have to draw a line to match the teacher. And this is a contractor. the contractor who takes contract in building, in constructing the buildings. So that's a contractor, you match that. And then is the person on the steering wheel, so that's a driver, so match to the driver. And there's another person who's painting the wall, so he is a painter. So join the, draw lines to join the balloons to match. So this is done for you all now. The next is complete the following passage using the words in the cloud below. So there's a cloud, it's got all the words. So you have to complete this passage which I have written it for you all. Copy the answer, copy it the way it is in your notebook. This has to be written in your classwork. So complete the following from the given following passage from the given cloud words. Okay, it starts from here. 3 men were dash stones. What were they doing? Cutting. 3 men were cutting stones. A dash man went to them. Who went to them? A wise man. A wise man went to them. When he talked to the third worker, he replied with a, what did the third worker do? He replied with a smile. So the third worker replied with a smile. Sir, I am working for the nation. So I am working for the nation. The government is building a dash here. What is the government doing? Building a factory here. So these are the answers. Note it down, children, and write it in your classwork. So question answers, and this one you will write in your classwork. The match the following. Second, match the following also has to be written in your classwork. This can be done in your textbook itself. Now going to the next, fill in the blanks with correct letters and say it aloud. So one is done for you all is money. So you all can do this in this book itself. You don't have to write in your notebook. So there's F-C-O-R-Y. What's the building? So it is a factory. So F-A-C-T-O-R-Y, factory. Fill the letters in the given blanks. Next, what's this man doing? He's cutting. So what is the spelling for cutting? C-U-T-T-I-N-G. Fill it up. Cutting. And then you find all small houses and narrow roads, and that's a village. So V-I-L-L-A-G-E, village. Next is the India map. What is India map? India is a country, so it is country. C-O-U-N-T-R-Y, country. Okay, please write these things, these letters, and fill it up in your textbook itself. Next we'll go to let us practice. Now they are look, hook. These are double OK words. So I want you all to copy this in your workbook, in your notebook. Look, book, and then they have given H and B. Here is H, so what would be the word? So just have to add double OK words. So H-O-O-K, hook, B-O-O-K, book. Copy down in your classwork book. Then here's the A-N word, M-A-N, man, F-A-N, fan. So what's the other two words? So they've given C, C-A-N, can, and they've given P, P-A-N, pan. So these are A-N word, and this is O-O-K words. So fill it up and write it in your classwork. And they've given opposites. Opposites I've already done for you all. You all have to learn and write it down in your classwork. What's the opposite for first is last, friend is enemy, wise is unwise, real is unreal, big, small. This is already given for you all, so you all have to just copy and learn the opposites. Once you learn the opposite, you will be able to do this. I want you children to do this. This is your homework. So this is main 8th. Fill in the blanks with opposites for the underlined word. So if they give first is underlined, you have to write last in that place. So opposites are here. Copy that in the right place. So A is the first letter, Z is the last letter. Like that, whatever there's friend is underlined, big is underlined. Write the opposite and fill the blanks and write it down in your classwork. I'm going to the next main, his main 9. Here we are going to learn grammar. What are you going to learn in this, in the grammar? Is the punctuation mark. When you'll see the image over here, one picture, one face is given. There's 2 dots for eyes, and that is your full stop. Now what is a full stop? A full stop is nothing but a full stop is put when you complete a sentence. A sentence is completed when you put a full stop. Okay, so full stop is used to complete the sentence. Every sentence, if you see in our notes, we keep a full stop at the end. That means the sentence is complete and it's ready to start and you're ready to start a new sentence. So full stop means these 2 eyes are the full stop, and the symbol for full stop is just a dot. Okay, so every sentence is completed with the full stop. And next, you see the nose here. What's this nose? A straight line and a dot below. That's an exclamatory mark. Exclamatory mark means to exclaim. It's an exclamation. So what do you mean when you're surprised, when you're shocked? Okay, so you use that exclamatory mark. So he says, oh, you work for wages? He's shocked. He's saying you only work for money? So that is why we use the verb exclamatory mark, and exclamatory mark is represented with a standing line and a dot below. Okay, that's your exclamatory mark. And you see 2 ears here, children. These are the question marks. Okay, a question marks is like a right curve like this and a dot below. So what is question mark used? When you ask a question. What is your name? It ends with a question mark. Every question ends with a question mark, and every sentence or phrase would end with a full stop. Sentence basically will end with a full stop. So question mark is used to ask questions. When you ask a question, use question mark. So these are called the punctuation marks. What are they called? Punctuation. Full stop, the exclamatory mark, question mark. There are many more punctuations. For now you all are going to read only these 3 punctuation marks. Okay, so once you learn what the punctuation marks are, then you go to the 3rd main, which says punctuate the following sentence using capital letters wherever necessary. So children, you all should understand one thing. A sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence is a set of words which gives meaning, and it starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. So every sentence will start with a capital letter. If you see, all the answers which I have given has started with the capital letter and ends with a full stop. That's a sentence. So any time when you're asked punctuate the sentence and rewrite, you have to start the new sentence with a capital letter. Okay, so here it says, can't you see? Can't you see is just a phrase, but it's also a sentence because it's got meaning. Okay, but it is not just a sentence. What is it? It's a question. Can't you see? You're asking a question, right? Can't you see? So the first letter will start with a capital letter and end with the question mark because it's a question, right? So that's already done for you all. So next is, I work for my nation. So it's a sentence. It's a meaningful sentence. I work for my nation. So what do? You write a capital letter. The I will always be in caps. Wherever you write, in the middle of the sentence or beginning of the sentence, I is a single letter word which will always be written in capital letter. Okay, so I is a capital letter because it's the beginning of the sentence, as well as I is written in capitals. So I work for my nation, full stop. The sentence should end with a full stop over here. Second one, why are you doing it for your country? Why are you doing it for your country? Again, why, W will be capital, and doing it for your country ends with a question mark because he is asking why, what, who, where, all that is a question. So you will end with a question mark. I am cutting stones. Again, this man says, I am cutting stones. Again, starts with a capital letter, I am cutting stones, full stop. Okay, so this is how you will punctuate. The first one, I work for my nation, could also be with an explanation, with an excitement. So you can also write exclamatory mark. I work for my nation, exclamatory mark. For second one, you can put question mark. Third answer, I am cutting stones, you can write full stop. Now I am skipping all these because we are not in class to interact with each other. So here we go to page number 56. There's a map, India map given for you all. And then it says take the pictures of our national symbols. So what are our national symbols? There are certain things which would represent our country. Like we have flag. Which is a flag? A flag is called the Tiranga. It's called 3 colors, orange, white, green, right? So you have to stick the picture of a flag, India's flag. Okay, a national flag. And then we have another symbol, bird. Which is India's national bird? You all should know. Peacock. Yes, so stick the picture of a peacock here, and that's our national bird. And next is our national flower. Which is a national flower, children? Which is commonly found everywhere is lotus in India. So lotus is our national flower, and you will stick the picture of lotus. And then a national animal, and that's my favorite too. Which one? The tiger. So stick the picture of a tiger here, our national animal. So this you all will do in this book itself. Okay. Now that I have come to the end of the lesson or our exercises, and there's a poem which is given. So I will read out the poem for you all. Okay. Before that, there's a joker's picture here. Connect the dots and draw the picture and color. That is another activity for you all. So what do we do here? Let's read the poem. Go not to the temple. Go not to the temple to put flowers upon the feet of God. First fill your own house with the fragrance of love. So what we people do? We want to go worship God. So we go to temples, we go to churches, we go to mosques. Okay, we go to masjid, we go to gurudwar. Everywhere we go, we put flowers and we say we honor our God and we pray. So what the poet says here is, first going and praying to the temple or church or mosque or gurudwar, wherever, putting the flowers there and praying. First make your house fragrance. Fragrance with what? With love. If you don't have love and peace at home, there's no point going out and worshipping God and showing it for everyone, right? So always love each other at your home. Your family members, love each other, be in peace at home, then automatically your family and your house will be filled with fragrance. That means anybody who's coming in, they will feel so warmth. They feel there was so much of love and peace in your house. So that itself is worshipping God rather than going to the temple and doing. Go not to the temple to bow down your head in prayer. First learn to bow in humility before your fellow men. So what the poet says here? He says, you go to temple and you bow down to God and say, you surrender yourself and you say your prayers, right? So instead of being so surrendering and humble towards God, first do that amongst your neighbors and fellow men, whom you are studying with, your friends, your neighbors who stay near your house, your workers, anybody is working with you all, if your parents are working and their friends and colleagues. Be good to them. Be good to your friends. When you're playing with them, be good to them. Do no cheating. If somebody falls, go pick them up and come on, encourage them. Come on, you can win. You know, so it's not that I'm going to win and you're a loser. No, you have to be nice. Humility is nothing but being humble and modest. You win, you don't have to be proud saying I'm a winner. You have to humbly say, come on, next time you too will win. Right? Only when there's a loser, there's a winner, right? So you have to be humble with each other, with your fellow men, rather than just going and bowing your head in prayer to God. Go not to the temple to pray on bended knees. First, bend down to lift someone who's downtrodden. So what does it say here? We go to temple, we kneel down, we bow our head and we pray to God, we throw the flowers on God. All that is fine. But before that, your inner feeling should be good. So what you do? You bow down, bend down to lift the downtrodden. That means people who are in need. Who are in need for anything. There are people who don't have money to pay the fees for the school. If somebody is able to, let's go and help them, pay for them. The people who don't have jobs, let's try to help them. Give, like our school is doing a lot of such work, right? Giving provisions, vegetables for the families who don't have work or no wages, no earnings. So we help them. Downtrodden means people who are underprivileged. We have to respect them. We should not say, oh, they are poor people, we don't have to go near them. No, we have to go and help them out. The beggars outside, help them. Help them, advise them not to beg and do some work. Okay, the government has given them a lot of provisions. So go to the temple to ask for go not to the temple to ask for forgiveness for your sins. First forgive from your heart those who have sinned against you. Anybody who have hurted your children, anybody it could be. Your friends could have hurted you by cheating. Your friends could have robbed your things. Some nice pencils, erasers you have, and somebody without you knowing they would have robbed. They would have robbed your food, chocolates from your bag. Just forgive them. Right? You don't have, okay, you took it from me, that's wrong, but don't do it again. I'm your friend. Not like you did that and I'm not going to be your friend, I'm not going to talk to you. That's not the way. We have to learn to forgive. Your neighbors, they would have fought with you all. You would have knocked out on another child and that child would have pushed you down. Then you'll fight, right? So you have to forgive and forget and play with the child again. So that's how you'll be a good child. So first forgive those who have hurted you. Then God will automatically forgive you. So the poet Rabindranath Tagore in this poem says, first, instead of going to temple and worshipping, first cleanse your own self, your inner feeling. Bring that love and peace at home, your humbleness towards your fellow men, then your good work and deed, your helping nature towards the downtrodden, and your forget and forgiveness towards those who have hurted you. So this is the summary of the poem. Now what I want you all to do is learn the poem and learn the meanings given on page 58. So there are new words like what's fragrance? Yes, I told you. Fill your house with fragrance of love. Now what is fragrance? Fragrance is a sweet smell which you get from flowers and some nice oil and all that. So the pleasant smell, something nice to smell is fragrance. Okay? Humility. What's humility? To be humble, to be modest, to be meek, to be simple is humility. Humble. To be humble and meek is humility. Modest is to be so simple and not show. You should not be proud. If I win, I am going to be very proud of. No, you have to be modest and say, I win, next time you win. Okay? Downtrodden is oppressed. One who is not respected. Oppressed people, poor people, you don't give respect to them. Those are all called downtrodden. Let's learn to respect them and help them. So let us understand. The house, according to the poet, should be filled with dash. Should be filled with fragrance. Fragrance is the answer for the first fill in the blanks. One also has to learn to be dash. One also has to learn to be humble. Only when you bend down can you lift the dash. Only when you bend down can you lift the downtrodden. Downtrodden. Okay, that's the answer for your third one. And there's an activity given. Now that Diwali is coming, I want you all to do this. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I've not done this activity. If I get a time, I'll do another class with this activity. But now I want you children to try doing this. Just take a color paper, one sheet, A4 size sheet of color paper or even a white sheet of paper. Fold into half and try to cut it from the side where you have folded, leaving the edges. Don't cut the top edge. Only where you have folded, there you make multiple cuts. And when you cut like this, open the paper, so you will see a band on the top because you have not cut both the edges, and a band on the bottom. Just join together with a glue and that becomes a lamp. Put a handle. All the instruction is given for you all. So make a lamp. There's a lamp shade and hang it in your balcony or front of your door for Diwali. Okay, so that's the activity for this week. Whoever has done it, send me the photo. I would love to see that. So otherwise, this is the activity which you have to do here. And I want to give you all one more homework. Collect pictures of a community helper or helpers of different profession and stick it in your scrapbook. All of you all have your drawing book, right? So I want you all to stick the pictures of community helpers in your drawing book. Okay children, I hope I have made it clear for you all about the lesson and the activities. Any doubt, please reach out to me. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.